Today we are starting a much needed upgrade to this RV. So you can see behind me here, the decal in some places it doesn't look so bad, and then increasingly it gets pretty bad. So we're gonna tackle this project of trying to repaint all the decals on our RV. We've watched a bunch of videos. We have a general idea of what we wanna do, but we'll see if we can make it come to life.
We just finished our run to Home Depot, so I'm gonna run you guys through all the supplies that we picked up so that way we can tackle this decal refinishing project. Full clarity, it is our first time ever doing something like this, so we totally scoured YouTube, saw what worked for other people, so that was definitely some inspiration for the supplies that we grabbed. So first and foremost is prepping. So the prepping that we're gonna be doing for our RV first is going to be sanding our decals. So we are opting to sand our decals and not remove them and then paint, because even though our decals are faded, none of them have cracking. So we figured it'd be a pretty good base. So in the off chance that it looks terrible, we don't like it, we just have the opportunity to just peel the stickers right off and then we can start all over again. We'll be going with 320 grit sandpaper. We opted for a sanding block since we figured it'd be easier for working on the surfaces. If you do have rougher decals, it seemed that 220 was recommended, but since our decals honestly look pretty good surface-wise, we're just gonna start with the 320 and see how that does for softening up the surface. Next item that we have in regards of prepping is going to be some alcohol. So we have alcohol, a cloth. So once we're done sanding, we're gonna go ahead, wipe down the surface, make sure it's all super clean, no dust residue, no dirt, none of that. So that way we can have a clean surface that is prepped and ideally ready to paint. Once that's done, which I think all that should be pretty easy, is gonna be some painter's tape. So we actually grabbed this from AutoZone. It's automotive painter's tape. It just has on this, you can see here, there's like a diagram that says for like flexibility, adhesive strength, and paint line sharpness. A lot of RVs have those classic, what we kind of call like ice cream truck swooshes on the side, or like a Nike check mark. So this is gonna help a lot for being able to mask out all of those curves because of the flexibility. So even if you have the blue painter's tape, that 3M stuff, definitely splurge for the automotive style painter's tape. And last up, the exciting part is the actual paint that we'll be using. So it's actually pretty funny. All these 3 different colors you guys can see, they look really different, but technically they're all grays. So the dark one is a charcoal gray, and we're opting for a satin finish on just about all of these because we don't want something that's too shiny. We kind of want something that's gonna blend with, I would say, a bit of our already dulled fiberglass finish on the side of the RV. The next color that we selected is a stone gray. This is also that satin finish. And the last color is actually called a winter gray. Honestly, this looks pretty blue, so we don't want something that's like extreme and popping. So we did really like this winter gray color. The only caveat to this color is that it only comes in a gloss finish, which is super annoying because we want satin finishes. So we got this satin clear coat. So we're gonna be trying out painting this gloss and then finishing it with the satin clear coat, so that way it matches the rest. We might be doing the satin clear coat in all of them just so that way they match and they have an extra layer of protection. Really just depends if these colors even look good in the first place. Those are the colors and the prep supplies, so time to get this project started.
Okay, just getting into this project, probably 30 minutes in here. Gabby has been making her way along the RV.
I actually ended up using just like a general purpose cleaner for the first wipe, and now I'm using alcohol and going over all the decals again to get all of this leftover residue. It's crazy. Like I can start with like, all right, like I'll start with like a clear section like that, put some alcohol, and then wipe, just like a small section like that. And all of that purplish color just like already came off.
So after she's been doing that, I've been following through, taking off any of the covers that we can get off easily, just to make sure we don't get it with overspray. And then I've started to tape off all of these sections with the green flexible tape. You could definitely tell it's better than normal masking tape. As you're moving with it, you can kind of make it adjust to the contours of the line. I haven't done anything super curved yet, so we'll see, but so far it's going all right.
Guys, check it out. Brendan has upgraded to a straw hat because it's so hot out.
It is getting hot out here. We thought we were gonna time it so the sun wasn't right over us. The awning's helping some, but I gotta do the hat. For this project, we already showed you the 3 colors we were gonna use, and there are currently 3 colors on the RV. We were trying to figure out if we wanted to like maybe choose new spots to go in certain colors, but we think what we're gonna do is anything that is currently red, we're gonna make this charcoal gray color. Anything that is this gray, we're gonna do a little bit lighter gray. And then anything that was this blue purplish color, we're gonna go with this lighter blue. We'll try to stray not too far from the original colors just in case it peels or cracks or anything. It shouldn't be too noticeable. So we're gonna go with the current design, just kind of upgrading the colors and see how that looks from there. Okay, I think we're about ready. Just finishing up the last piece and then we can try spray painting the first one.
Tell you what, this taping off stuff is absolute marriage counseling. It took forever with
I don't rip tape well enough. Let's do it.
It's the start of a new life. Good thing it's in the back of the RV. Had a drip.
Damn, that looks pretty good. Wow.
That looks great.
I'm shocked at how good it looks.
Guys, it looks so good. I'm floored. That tape worked so good. I mean, granted, like I first spray painted and Brendan totally called me out that I spray painted way too close. And I was so worried about how bad it was gonna look, but I'm so happy with that. Okay, so we went ahead and got the next color all taped off, craft paper, the automotive tape. This honestly probably took us like an hour and it is hot. So we are excited to get this color done. So this is what's gonna light gray is gonna be going on. And then we have this leftover piece of insulation board for our overhead cab. And we're just gonna place this here to block the wind because it is a windy day. So that way we have limited overspray. So let's get this painted and peeled and lunchtime. Seems like it's clogged. Damn it. Okay, so as we were painting, this is a brand new can of spray paint. It just kind of started to die and almost like sputter out paint. So I thought maybe the cap was clogged, so I switched it with another cap. Still wasn't working. I tried poking it in there. It's just I don't know, it's just a bad egg. So pretty frustrating. It's not a big deal. We'll just run back out. Home Depot's super close.
Because we only bought 1 can of each color just to test out the colors. We probably should have bought more than 1, but now that we verified, I think we like it, we're gonna at least get 1 more and finish the job up.
Brendan ran out. Thank you, Brendan. So time to finish the gray up, and then we definitely need a break. So far, so good. Okay, have all of the gray part that we taped out painted. Now we're gonna go ahead, put some of this clear coat on. So this was going super good. The tape got too long when Brendan was peeling back. Kind of hard to see, but right there, the tape stuck and just peeled off a super good chunk, which is really freaking annoying. So we got to do this all over again. Let's get back to taping. Okay, we got the blue, everything taped off. This should be our last spray of the day, so fingers crossed. Everything here goes smoothly so we can wrap up for the day.
I gotta say, one thing as we're spraying this is when you start to spray it out and you see all this paper here, I feel like the color is not really reflective of how it's gonna end up. for the black and for the gray and for this, I feel like it's coming out and I'm like, I don't really like how it looks that much, but once you start to peel it off and see the contrast with the white or off-white of your RV, it's gonna look way different. So fingers crossed that this is looking more blue than it looks right now. Wrapping up the first day of painting our RV. So we did a good amount. I would say we did,
This like lower third.
yeah, maybe 60, 70% of this side of the RV. We've done like a good chunk. We've done the 3 colors that we really like. And I feel like we've learned a lot from the experience. So next time we can be a little bit more efficient with it.
I totally agree. And also, it's so funny looking at these 3 colors, and they're all technically grays, which is insane to me because they look so different. And I would say today was also about like prototyping. Like, for one, making sure like that we like the color. 2, making sure like the tape and the prep materials that we had were good enough. And then 3, that it actually looks good, which I would say like we're definitely impressed with the product. Like, we are just so happy with how this turned out. But I don't know, for getting the lower third done, of course we had the mishap that Brendan had to run out to Home Depot to get refiller paint. That honestly put a huge damper in the day. But like, work-wise, how long do you think this took us?
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours maybe to do this much of the RV. So I'd say probably total RV, maybe it should take 10 hours or so, which sounds a little intimidating.
I was thinking like 20.
Maybe 20 hours, I don't know. Definitely a big bulk of the time is just taping all the edges and making sure you put your paper up and that you're correcting for overspray, which I would say I feel like we got better at throughout each section that we painted, but we still happened to end up with overspray. So I don't know.
Yes, we did, and I'm so happy you shouted that out because that's something that we didn't include in the materials was mineral spirits. We actually already had some of this stuff on hand, and that's what we used to take off some of the overspray. So if you guys do this process on your own and you see that you sprayed some paint where it's not supposed to be, put some mineral spirits.
It's super effective. I was
so
shocked.
Easy. I was afraid because like I've used Goo Gone before and like you're just doing all elbow grease and like not getting anywhere, but it was literally like it's just kind of like alcohol solution. So yeah, just put it on the rag and then you wipe it off and it comes off super easy. So day 1 in the books.
Yeah, we're done. We're done for today. This is gonna be a project for another day, but we'll wrap up everything else and show you guys the finished product. So these are the old decals. Some of them are pretty faded. Like our logo here, it's pretty faded. We've got a fiberglass job. But then all of this is the new stuff. Old, new. This is now day 4, and we've been working on this like every single day. It is more work than I expected. Gabby definitely had a better estimation on the
My
number
2
of
times
hours.
longer than you.
Yeah, I don't know how many hours it's been, but we've just been chipping away after work. We are on the last 3 decals on this side of the RV, so we're about to cross over the halfway point. We've done a little bit on the other side, but yeah, last coat of clear coat, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. 2 coats clear coat, now ready for the fun part, taking off all this paper.
Okay, so tape is pulled off and this side is pretty much done for paint. I will say it's a little underwhelming because we still plan on replacing our decals that say Greyhawk Jayco. So like this, we don't have any way of realistically taping that off and painting it. Trying to do that would be a nightmare. So we're still undecided if I'm gonna remake this design digitally, get a custom sticker for that to fit, or if we just put a mountain decal here instead. But somehow that's gonna come off. Box is way more yellow than it ever looked before. So it's definitely an eyesore. So we're thinking that we're gonna have to paint that white to blend in better on this side. And also this RV, before we bought it, the previous owner, they, I don't know what they hit, but they ran into something, and there used to be a hole here that we very much so Jimmy rigged it with some silicone filling in the cracks. And thanks to my dad, he actually came over and did Bondo and fixed it correctly. And then we just painted over it with some white paint, which clearly does not match the RVs. So that's why there's this random white patch. Not entirely sure, so if you have recommendations of what we should do here, feel free to fill us in.
The other thing we're considering is if we should paint this like yellowish white stripe. It goes all the way along the side, the bottom of the RV. So we were thinking about maybe doing it white or black because it doesn't really match. Still undecided about that, but I think it would look better if we painted it some color. So Gabby decided she couldn't wait. She wants to take off the Greyhawk right now.
It's so annoying.
So we're trying with the heat gun to see.
Look at that, with the heat gun, look how nice that comes off.
Not bad.
You need a freaking heat gun if you're ever taking off decals.
I'm pretty impressed. So it's actually coming off pretty nicely. Definitely see where it is behind it, but.
With some like residue remover and polishing it out, I'm not sure how noticeable it's gonna be. Okay. I want to go look what it looks like from afar.
Okay, this should be the last day, the last morning of this project, and I'm so excited, but I just found something pretty weird, so let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we've had this slide closed almost the entire time that we've been working on this. And up here we have two lines. These are the last two lines to paint, and these continue to the back side of the RV. So it goes on the slide and then on the back. Just notice when putting the slide in that these lines actually don't line up with each other. So I'm guessing from the factory, someone like messed up on this, and it's not something that we noticed until now when we're going to paint the lines. So I was gonna see if maybe I could flip it around, but because of the thickness, I think I'm just gonna keep the consistent look here and just keep it flipped around. If we didn't notice it before, hopefully it won't be a big deal now, but yeah, thought that was pretty weird. Okay, so I think we're done with this project.
Oh my God, we're totally done.
There's a few small things that I feel like we might want to look into a little bit more, but in terms of painting, it went awesome. Like I was really pleasantly surprised with how it went. It was definitely a ton of work.
Right, it took us probably a week to finish this entire project. But granted, I think we did like 2 full days, and then
maybe
5 days were just like after work, an hour here or there, which honestly, I liked breaking up the project like that, just because after taping and painting after a full day, you were just like brain dead because it was such mundane and repetitive work.
I don't know, thinking about the different steps that it takes to paint, we try to do one color at a time. We kind of focus on one side of the RV at a time as well. The actual taping off part with the automotive tape, that wasn't too bad. It was actually kind of fun to like go around the corners and stuff. The thing that took a long time that was really not very rewarding was taping off with paper.
Yeah.
And we went through so much paper. I don't know how many rolls, but we definitely went back.
Probably 3 rolls.
We went back to Home Depot several times to pick up more paint and more tape and more paper. We needed all of it. We wanted to like over prepare so that we weren't gonna, you know, mess up and have a bunch of overspray on the RV.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I am so happy with how it turned out. Like, it was definitely a very labor-intensive project, but I would do this again. If we were to get another older RV that needed decals repainted, it's really not a bad project. We definitely, I mean, can't attest to the durability quite yet, but what I will say is that after we had the decals looking super nice, it really brought out all of the oxidation that this RV has. So all of the white, if you rubbed your hand on it, some white would come off. So I actually ordered a polisher off of Amazon, and I've been buffing out the side. And it just made it look so much smoother. So I pretty much used like a rubbing compound to the side. What I'm getting at is the durability of the decals. I mean, typically when you're buffing something out, you don't really want to go over decals to begin with. So I definitely didn't intentionally just buff them, but I went over them with the polisher here and there, and nothing came off from the paint, which I feel like that is a really good initial testament to durability of me with a really kind of gritty paste going over it, and it still looks totally fine. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted on how it holds up over time, but I think it's gonna be pretty good. I would say another thing too is not being afraid to remove decals maybe that you don't like. Like I would say removing the Greyhawk Jayco decals. What a difference. We're still undecided if we're gonna put something over them. We thought we were gonna remake them, but it's not that faded underneath. And then also we did replace our side window awning. So we'll definitely show you guys a video of that. Right here, we picked pretty much awning covers that match the paint job that we did. So it's like a nice light gray, and before they were just really red.
So they were this red color, and it was like the last thing after doing all this job, and we're like, man, this really stands out now. So I would say that was like a side effect of this project. Doing all this work really made us like, I don't know, kind of point out other little things that we wanted to fix too.
So from here, exterior for the most part is really just about wrapped up. I mean, once I'm done buffing, which should be this weekend, it'll be all done. And this weekend, we are taking on the daunting task.
Been putting it off.
Starting to attempt to replace our roof. So guys, stay tuned to the upcoming videos because I'm
scared for it.
I feel like I get YouTube confidence of taking on projects, and this one's like pretty low. I think we can figure it out, but it's so intimidating going in. So we'll figure it out. We'll keep you guys posted, take you along for the journey.
Yeah, we're gonna record it, but I wouldn't say we really know what we're doing.
It's not a how-to, it's an experience video.
We're gonna see how it goes.
So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop those down in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and stay tuned to the next one.